Nothing but a bunch of lonely bandits. Cowards who will take little effort. Excellent. Show them no mercy. By the way, if you're looking for something to do...
Latest recruit, right? Wait, is that right?
Have The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim walkthrough for spacetopgames.com and wikigameguides.com. This is the first quest of the Companions Guild, or the Companions questline, I guess. I guess it's not really a guild. I'm thinking of Oblivion too much, of course. And this is the Trouble in Skyrim quest. And this has a little bit of randomness to it, and it pretty much depends on who you talk to. That'll tell you which quest you're gonna get. Because when I did this on my test file, I just had to go beat up a guy for some old lady, while this time I have to go to some bandit hideaway and then defeat the bandit leader. And neither of them from the beginning are very difficult at all, but they are, some are easier than others, that's for sure. So when I'm just walking around along this river to this particular bandit place, I will be killing these mud crabs and picking up their chitin just because I feel like it, and it'll be useful in potion making later on. And of course the wolf hide, because that is for smithing. Now there are a couple of things I want to go over before I get too much into my walkthrough, and that is, number one, the add-ons or the DLC that I'm using. And as I'm recording this, I have Dawnguard installed and enabled, and I will be doing videos of that eventually. And I also have the Unofficial Skyrim Patch downloaded and enabled. You can get that from the Steam Workshop. And I also have the HD Texture Pack, but that's not enabled, and I'm only playing on the high graphics right now, and that's because my graphics card it wasn't the best. It's pretty good, but it wasn't the best, and I recently upgraded it, so videos after the Companions Guild should be in ultra quality. And maybe or maybe not with the HD texture pack, just because I don't know if it's good enough to record and play in Ultra with the HD texture pack, but I know for sure it is good enough to record in Ultra. So, if for those of you who notice the tiniest, smallest little details, even though this is probably as good as it looks on the Xbox anyway, then you'll be happy, but I'm pretty sure 90% of people won't even notice, because I barely even notice. Especially when I'm playing, I don't even recognize the difference. And there is obviously a pretty significant difference from the lowest to the highest, but from the highest to Ultra, it's, you know, it's just like, okay, whatever. So I actually died up here, and you're gonna see a transition. That was when I died, and I cut that out because the stupid companion leader, not the companion leader, the bandit leader, came over and killed me in 2 or 3 hits with his giant mace thing, or whatever weapon he was using, and I decided to, first of all, learn how to quick save, which is by pushing F5 on the computer, and if you are on a console, you're just gonna have to save manually. And it is obviously beneficial to save as often as you can. Now for this part, you can either charge in with electricity or whatever magic you're using, or you can charge in with swords, or you can play it a little bit sneakier and use a bow and arrow. And if you pick up steel arrows and iron arrows, you should have at least 100 of the iron arrows by now, and you should have a relatively decent bow. And all you have to do is sneak, make sure that reticule is flat, and then just shoot the bandits off the bridge, and you see them falling off there. It's actually really fun, and there are some quests that are a lot more, they seem like they're more geared towards sneaking than anything else. Not only does this get your archery up, it'll get your sneak up, and any level you can get up helps you level up faster, which means you get new perks, which means you can spend it in whatever you want. Now if you're playing on the computer, which I'm probably going to be saying on the computer a lot because I have to admit, the Skyrim PC version is better than the console versions in every way possible. It just is. If you're playing on the computer and you don't mind cheating a tiny little bit, you could download a mod that gives you 5 skill points per level up, or 5 perks per level up. And I sort of think maybe we should have gotten 2 from the beginning instead of 1, because I don't believe there's enough to get every single skill tree in the level up menu to its highest. There might be, and I might have just heard wrong, and I haven't played nearly that much. I mean, I've done every quest in this game, but I just haven't played enough to get every single skill to 100, and hopefully I will be able to do that in the walkthrough, but, you know. Anyway, so my sneak increased there, and obviously sneak with the perks has some benefits. If you put some points into it, you'll be a little bit harder to detect, or maybe you won't. If you walk over those push traps, those push buttons in dungeons, you won't activate those. And you'll see those a lot later on in this walkthrough. Excuse me. So right here is the bandit chief, and I tried to shoot him with the bow and arrow, and I think I actually hit him, but it didn't really do anything because he's a pretty tough enemy. And that's another thing, the bow and arrow in this game really works well against the weaker enemies, the ones that you kill really quickly. And it's mainly just to get rid of them so they're not bugging you, and that way you can have all the space and all the time you need to deal with these tougher ones. So like there's a bandit following him, which I somehow missed the second time. And then I'm going to come over to my favorite menu, and I died, as I said, I died fighting him, and I think that was because I wasn't using a sword, and I decided just to use dual Imperial swords here instead of magic because my Magicka was draining way too quickly right now. And it's also good to get your other skills up, which, as I said in the previous video, I will be getting a variety of it up, but I will try to focus as much as I can on magic. When fighting this guy, if you happen to get this quest, just avoid his attacks, back up, go down to the streets, and kind of do that, but go down to the streets and, what was I going to say, kind of lure him around, dodge him, or you can get him stuck behind a chair like I did and kill him pretty quickly with a critical. And then you can explore the rest of this tower, but as I said, the quest that you get, excuse me, wow. The quest that you get at the beginning is a little bit random, and I sped this up just because you don't really need to see it. And because of the randomness, I just figured I'm just going to record whichever quest I get, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with the person that you talk to, and you know, that's why I got this one. So you may get a different one, but none of them are really that difficult. And the rest of the Companions Guild, the Companions questline is pretty much like this. There's like a random one that depends on who you talk to, then there's a set one that everybody will get, and then it'll continue until the end. And because of that, it makes it a little bit difficult to record, but usually you shouldn't need a walkthrough to do every single quest because the game pretty much leads you to it right away. But anyway, that's the end of this video, and on to the next quest.
Ascended from flesh to rule the realm.
Skjor says that I have the strength, and I've already received word that the client is satisfied. You have done well for yourself, and for the companions.